What day is it? The date?
October 31st, Thursday.
What year?
Welcome to another quick retro review. Today we're taking a look at the 2013 The Terminator reaction action figures by Funko and Super7. Super7 and Funko were jointly producing the reaction action figures toy line that gave homage to the classic, simple, but cool 5 points of articulation Star Wars toys from yesteryear. Prices of the action figures were kept low by acquiring only the names and logos of IPs and one or none of the likeness rights of the actors. The figures were also affected by this, as they had minor detail put into them and their faces left you thinking, who the heck is this? In 2016, Funko was out and Super7 took full control of the reaction toy line. More on that on future videos. Today I'll be unboxing and reviewing 4 of the 5 Terminator action figures. They made 2 Arnold Terminator figures. I'm missing the first one, where he got the clothes from the nice man.
Your clothes. Give them to me, now.
So before I unbox them, let's take a look at the packaging. I'm only going to take one because they all have the same front and back art. From top to bottom, it says adult collectible, not a toy. I don't care, I'm still going to play with it. Underneath the classic The Terminator logo, you've got the name of the action figure. Right here we've got the T800 Endoskeleton. It's a 3 3/4 inch fully posable action figure. On the right hand side, you've got what they paid for, the likeness rights to Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then on the left hand side, you've got this real nice clear bubble and a good view of the action figure that you're buying. And then of course at the very bottom, you've got reaction figures. Now on the back, collect all 5. You've got a movie still as your background to this back packaging, which is pretty badass. And then you've got the 5 figures in this series that you can collect. They all look to be like computer renderings of the figures. I'll unbox and review each one by one. Let's take a look at Kyle Reese first. He is unpunched and now he's out of the package. Look at that, he came with guns on the side of the bubble so that you don't lose them. He comes with a nice sculpted shotgun, sawed-off shotgun, and you could tell too, look at that, that's really nice. That's actually some nice detail there. And he also comes with a revolver, a very, very tiny revolver. It does remind me of the revolvers that came with Indiana Jones. So that's also nicely sculpted. And then we got the figure who comes with cloth goods. This is really nice. The jacket fits on them all loose and baggy like. You could probably hide that shotgun inside. Yeah, that looks badass. On the back of the card, he's seen without the jacket. Look at that, that looks really cool. Although it does not look at all like the actor. The rest of it, the shirt, the pants, they even put some detail right here, like if it's torn, or maybe that's just a paint mishap. The shoes. Then the bandages, that looks really good. I mean, the face looks like crap, but the rest of it, it looks really nice. Yeah, the handgun fits somewhat nice. Now they don't easily fall off, which is really nice. That's a plus. This one came out badass, especially coming with a coat. That's really good. And now this is what he looks like with the coat and both his guns. Now, Sarah Connor. Kyle Reese came with his accessories taped inside. There is nothing taped on the sides here. So it is just a figure. And this is the one you would say,
What the hell?
she's a very pretty woman, especially during this era. She don't look too pretty there. Then the rest of the body, honestly, you could like take this head off and put Kyle Reese's head, and it could just be different attire for Kyle Reese. There isn't much detail on this at all. It's your basic figure with an ugly face, articulation at the head, shoulders, legs, the 5 points of articulation that all these figures have. And the only thing that will let you know that it's Sarah Connor is the packaging. Otherwise, this is just some random figure. But because it is Sarah Connor, you kind of need her if you're going to try and collect this line. And talking about people we need if we're going to collect this line, the Terminator. Oh, I forgot to check his weaponry taped to the inside of the bubble. You got that gun right there. Looks like another style of shotgun right there. Both guns have a lot of great detail on them. This is actually really, really good. If they would have just put some effort into the figures to look as good as the guns, because these look really, really good. Some of them are even better than G.I. Joe weapons.
I'm a friend of Sarah Connor.
Again, not too much detail, but you kind of have a sense as to who this is, especially by looking at the packaging right there. Didn't get the Terminator. I'd rather just have T-800 Terminator, because this one just looks badass. Sculpting of the heads, it's just some random guy. This with the glasses, I think gives him like some sort of like charisma. And plus, you know who he is. He's the guy on the packaging. He's got that leather jacket, leather gloves. Waist down, it looks like he's wearing the same clothing that he took from what's his name, including the boots. And this is what he looks like with his weaponry. He's going from one side, shooting cops over here, shooting cops over there, shooting some other cops right here, and maybe a glass and table over there. Now let's take a look at Endoskeleton Terminator. And this guy comes with no weapons inside, but he was probably one of the most costly figures to make because of that metallized plastic. Oh boy, I need to touch this guy with kid gloves because he feels very, very fragile. Like, he looked pretty fragile inside the bubble. Just feeling him, I feel like, oh, and there's like little flakes coming off already. I'm not gonna put them back in the box because I'm throwing everything away. I just know that I'm gonna end up finding them broken somehow. Yeah, it's like flaking off the shoulders already. Hey, he's got head articulation, but it feels very, very weak. I do like that, although he's all that metallized, they did take the time to paint his teeth. That looks really badass. And of course, the eyes, little black and then red on top just to make the red pop. That's really badass. There should be like holes in between right there because this is just like little gears on the sides. Hey, and they got peg holes. Do they all have peg holes? Looks like they do. Now, peg holes for what? I don't know, because they didn't make any vehicles for these guys. Maybe the G.I. Joe stands would help. Oh, and it looks like these peg holes for the G.I. Joes are way too big. Yeah, I don't want to mess with him. He already feels like he's gonna break. I just recently unboxed and reviewed this Terminator 2 Judgment Day Endoskeleton Terminator by Toy Island. And comparing them both, they're both basically 3 3/4 inches. This guy looks like he was the skeleton of Arnold Schwarzenegger. This guy looks like he was the skeleton of Manute Bol. He's too lanky. He doesn't look very intimidating. Although the back metallized plastic really does make him look badass. I do love the way he shines. He shines really badass with all this light around him. Halloween 2024 being the 40th anniversary of the Terminator being released in theaters, I had to unbox and play with these guys. Unfortunately, they're not like the best action figures. Kyle Reese might be the best figure on here, but standing him up is a little hard, just a little. And that face doesn't look like him at all. But of course, the soft goods, the two guns, that brings him up a notch. Sarah Connor came with nothing, looks super ugly, and she can barely stand. This took me nearly 5 minutes to try to get her to stand. There she goes, barely tapped her. Now the one that might be the best figure here is this Terminator. With those glasses, the two guns, he doesn't come with soft goods, but he stands very firm, very strong. He doesn't fall over. The one that could have been the best figure, the Endoskeleton Terminator. Now he does feel very, very fragile, but the vac metallized plastic really pushes it up because that's really, really cool. Unfortunately, he has the same wonky legs as Sarah Connor. Her legs are different sizes. This Terminator's legs are different sizes as well. So once you try and get them to stand, cooperate. There we go. Just don't blow on them. My final thoughts. Although these figures have minimal articulation, even less detail on them, they're still pretty cool. They got that nostalgia feeling to them. Because they're 3 3/4 inches, not only do they blend in very well with my G.I. Joe action figures, but also my Star Wars action figures. Take a look at this.
Hey, we don't serve their kind here. You're a droid. They'll have to wait outside. We don't want them here.
I'll be back.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you on the next one. I really do hope you enjoyed this, and I really appreciate your support. Don't send me any money. I don't have any Patreon, so if you could, please just hit that like, hit that subscribe, and maybe share. If you can check out, maybe click this video, or maybe even click whatever that is right here. What is that? How did it get here? Bye!